In a world where people often hide behind carefully crafted facades, the presence of someone who dares to live authentically can feel like a shock to the system. For the chosen ones, those who walk through life with a profound sense of truth and purpose, this intensity is both a gift and a challenge. Your energy, your very presence, has the power to unsettle, to reveal, and to transform. This intensity is not something you can turn off or hide. It is an intrinsic part of who you are. But it is also the reason why, when you enter a room, you seem to change the very air itself. People are drawn to you or repelled by you in ways they often can't explain. Your authenticity makes people feel things they have long avoided, and for many, this is terrifying. The world we live in teaches people to wear masks. From a young age, we learn to fit in, to say the right things, to avoid rocking the boat. Society rewards those who conform, who don't make waves, and who play their role in the established system. But you, as a chosen one, have always found it hard to wear that mask. It doesn't fit, it feels uncomfortable, suffocating even. And because you refuse to conform to these unspoken rules, you naturally disrupt the social dynamics around you. This disruption isn't intentional. It's simply a result of your presence, of your refusal to pretend to be someone you're not. When you step into a space, the energy shifts. People who have grown comfortable hiding behind their facades suddenly feel exposed. It's as if the light you carry casts a spotlight on the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. Their insecurities, their fears, their unfulfilled dreams all come rushing to the surface. This can be incredibly uncomfortable for them, and their immediate reaction is often to blame you for that discomfort. They might see you as a threat, as someone who is challenging their carefully constructed identity, even though all you are doing is being yourself. One of the most powerful effects of a chosen one's presence is the emotional and behavioral changes it triggers in others. Suddenly, people who were once confident and composed may become unsure of themselves. They may act more reserved, withdrawing into themselves, or they may become aggressive, lashing out in an attempt to regain control. This shift isn't about you doing anything specific, it's about the energy you bring, an energy that refuses to let people stay comfortable in their illusions. In social groups, your presence has an even more profound effect. Group dynamics are often built on unspoken rules, power hierarchies, alliances, roles that each member plays to keep the group stable. But when a chosen one enters the group, those dynamics start to shift. People begin to question their roles, to reconsider their place within the group. The person who always took the lead might suddenly feel unsure, while someone who stayed in the background finds themselves inspired to speak up. This disruption can create tension and uncertainty, but it also opens the door to real change. It's as if your energy is a catalyst that forces the group to reassess, to evolve beyond the comfortable but stagnant patterns they've been stuck in. The reactions you provoke in others are often intense and rarely neutral. People tend to either admire you deeply or feel threatened by you. This polarization can make relationships challenging. It's not easy to be the one who makes others feel uncomfortable, even if that discomfort is ultimately for their benefit. But this is part of your role as a chosen one. You are here to stir the pot, to challenge complacency, and to encourage growth, even if that growth comes with growing pains. The word destabilize might sound negative, but in the context of the chosen ones, it is anything but. Destabilization is the first step towards true transformation. People may initially see the disruption you bring as a threat, as something that shakes the foundation of their comfortable lives. And in many ways it is. But it's also an opportunity, a chance for them to break free from the limiting patterns that have kept them stuck. By challenging their assumptions and pushing them out of their comfort zones, you create space for genuine growth and transformation. Your ability to destabilize is not a calculated effort. You don't walk into a room thinking about how to shake things up, it just happens. It's a natural outcome of your authenticity, of your refusal to play by the rules that don't make sense to you. This is what makes your power so unique and, to some, so terrifying. You are not following a script, you are not interested in keeping things status quo. Your very presence says there is more to life than this, and that message is both liberating and intimidating. For those who are ready, your presence is a breath of fresh air. They see the way you live, the way you speak your truth without fear, and they feel inspired. They see a path to breaking free from their own limitations, to living more authentically. But for those who are not ready, who are deeply invested in their facades and comfort zones, your presence can feel like an attack. It exposes everything they've been trying to hide, and that exposure feels threatening. One of the most profound impacts you have as a chosen one is your ability to reveal hidden truths. It's as if you carry a mirror with you, and when people look at you, they can't help but see themselves more clearly. This mirror doesn't show them the version of themselves they present to the world. It shows them who they truly are, beneath the masks and the roles. It shows them their insecurities, their weaknesses, but also their potential and their dreams. This revelation can be incredibly powerful. For some, it is the push they need to make real changes in their lives. It forces them to confront the parts of themselves they've been avoiding, to face their fears and insecurities head-on. This confrontation is not easy, and it often comes with resistance. People might blame you for making them feel this way, for forcing them to look at the parts of themselves they'd rather ignore. But over time, many of them will come to realize that this was exactly what they needed. They needed someone to hold up that mirror, to show them the truth so that they could finally begin to change. The process of revealing hidden truths is not about judgment. You are not here to judge or to criticize. You are here to help people see clearly. Your energy doesn't allow for falsehoods, for pretending. It calls out to the truth, and people respond to that call in different ways. For some, it is a relief to finally drop the mask, to stop pretending and start living authentically. For others, it is terrifying, and their immediate reaction is to run, to hide, or to lash out.
Being a chosen one comes with its own set of challenges, and one of the most significant is the burden of discernment. You have the ability to see beneath the surface, to understand what is really going on in people's hearts and minds, often before they are even aware of it themselves. This discernment is a gift, but it can also be heavy to carry. It means that you are constantly aware of the deeper emotions at play, the fears, the insecurities, the unspoken words that hang in the air. This awareness can make relationships challenging. You see through the small talk, through the social niceties, straight to the truth beneath. You understand why people behave the way they do, even if they don't. This can make interactions feel intense, because you are never just dealing with what's on the surface, you are engaging with the entirety of a person, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Some people are drawn to this intensity. They feel seen by you in a way that they have never felt before, and they crave that kind of authentic connection. But others find it overwhelming. They are not ready to be seen so clearly, and their reaction is to pull away or to try and push you away. This is part of the burden you carry as a chosen one. Your energy will not allow for superficial connections, it demands depth, authenticity, and truth. As we conclude this first part of the journey, it's important to remember that your intensity, your ability to destabilize and reveal, is not something to shy away from. It is your gift to the world. You are here to shake things up, to challenge people to grow, and to inspire them to live more authentically. This path is not always easy, but it is necessary. The world needs people who are willing to speak the truth, to hold up the mirror, and to create space for real transformation. In the next part, we will explore the extreme reactions your energy provokes, how you redefine power dynamics, and the ways in which you inspire others through your authenticity. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the incredible power you hold as a chosen one and the profound impact you have on the world around you. Being a chosen one means that you rarely leave people indifferent. Your presence, your authenticity, and your intensity provoke strong reactions. Either people are drawn to you with deep admiration or pushed away by an overwhelming sense of discomfort. This polarization is not something you seek, but it is a natural outcome of the energy you carry. You are like a lightning rod, drawing out emotions in others that they may not even realize they had. For many, this energy can be incredibly inspiring, while for others, it feels threatening. One of the reasons your energy evokes such extreme reactions is because it forces people to confront parts of themselves they prefer to keep hidden. In a world that often values conformity and superficial interactions, your genuine nature is like a spotlight that shines on what's real and what's false. This is both liberating and frightening, liberating for those who are ready to grow, and frightening for those who fear change. It's as if your presence strips away the layers of illusion that people have wrapped themselves in for comfort, and while some are ready to face what's underneath, others are not. In personal relationships, this intensity can make things challenging. Friendships, family dynamics, and romantic partnerships are all influenced by the depth of what you bring. Some people are deeply attracted to the truth that you represent. They feel safe in your presence because they know there is no deception, no pretense. They can be themselves without fear of judgment. On the other hand, some people may find your depth overwhelming. They aren't ready for that level of openness, and instead of leaning in, they withdraw or even lash out. The key for you, as a chosen one, is to understand that these reactions are not about you, they are about the people experiencing them. Their discomfort or admiration is a reflection of their own journey, their own readiness to face themselves. You do not need to change who you are to make others comfortable. Your role is not to make people feel at ease but to be a catalyst for transformation, even if that means being misunderstood or rejected along the way. One of the most profound effects you have as a chosen one is the way you redefine traditional power dynamics. Society often defines power as dominance. Those who are loudest, who control others, who command respect through fear or manipulation, are seen as powerful. But your presence challenges this very notion. You show that real power comes from within, from authenticity, integrity, and the courage to live in alignment with your values. Your presence alone can disrupt established power structures. Those who are used to being in control, who thrive on manipulating others or maintaining a dominant position, often feel threatened when you enter the scene. You are not interested in playing their games or competing for dominance. Instead, your power comes from a place of deep self-awareness and confidence, and this type of power cannot be manipulated or controlled. It is untouchable because it is not based on external validation but on inner truth. People who are used to controlling others may feel that control slipping when you are around. They may try to assert their dominance over you, but it doesn't work, because you are not interested in power for power's sake. This confuses them, and sometimes, it enrages them. The traditional tools of control, intimidation, manipulation, withholding, simply don't work on someone who is anchored in authenticity. Your very existence is a challenge to their belief system, and this can lead to conflict as they struggle to understand or adapt to a new way of being. But for others, your presence is empowering. They see in you a new model of what power can look like, one that is not based on fear or control but on love, truth, and genuine self-worth. You give them permission to step into their own power, to reject the old paradigms of dominance, and to find strength in authenticity. This is why, even though some may resist you, others will be drawn to you with admiration and a desire to learn. You are creating a new blueprint for power, one that is based on honesty, connection, and the courage to be oneself. By living authentically, you inspire others to do the same. Your refusal to conform, to wear a mask, or to live according to others' expectations sends a powerful message: it's okay to be real. It's okay to be different, to have emotions, to struggle, and to triumph in your own unique way. This authenticity is magnetic. It creates a ripple effect that touches everyone around you, from close friends and family to acquaintances and even strangers. Your authenticity is not about perfection. It's not about having all the answers or never making mistakes. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's about showing up fully, with all your imperfections, your questions, your moments of doubt, and your moments of strength. It's about being human, in the truest sense, and this is what inspires others. They see that you are not trying to pretend or fit into a mold, and that gives them the courage to drop their own masks and embrace who they truly are. The impact you have on others is often not immediate. People may initially resist the change, they may push back, or they may even try to challenge your authenticity. But over time, your example plants a seed. It encourages people to start questioning the roles they have been playing, the masks they have been wearing. It's a gradual process of transformation that unfolds in its own time, often without you even being aware of it. You may not see the immediate effects, but your influence is real, and it is profound. Think of your authenticity like a spark. In a room full of people living half-truths, that spark is what ignites the desire for something more. It's what makes people start asking questions, start wanting more depth, more honesty in their own lives. The transformation isn't always dramatic. Often, it starts small, someone deciding to speak up for themselves for the first time, someone choosing to pursue a dream they had set aside, someone letting go of a relationship that no longer serves them. These small acts of authenticity, inspired by your example, are what lead to larger, collective change. One of the key characteristics of the chosen ones is their ability to subvert expectations. You do not fit neatly into the boxes that society tries to place you in, and this unpredictability confuses people. They don't know what to expect from you, and in a world that often values predictability and conformity, this can be unsettling. But it is precisely this unpredictability that is so powerful. By refusing to conform, you challenge others to think more creatively, to question what they have always accepted as truth. This ability to subvert expectations means that you often operate outside of traditional norms. You don't follow the same path that others do, you don't make decisions based on what is expected of you, and you don't limit yourself to the roles that society assigns. This kind of freedom is rare, and it is incredibly valuable because it opens up new possibilities, not just for you, but for everyone who witnesses it. Your ability to operate outside the norm is not about rebellion for rebellion's sake, it's about finding your own path, one that feels true to who you are. It's about challenging systems that no longer serve the greater good, about questioning rules that are outdated, and about creating new ways of being that are more aligned with authenticity and compassion. This is why chosen ones are often seen as disruptors, not because they seek chaos, but because they seek a deeper truth. While this disruption can lead to rejection, after all, not everyone is comfortable with change, it also fosters innovation. By challenging the status quo, you create space for growth, for new ideas, and for creative solutions. You inspire others to think differently, to consider possibilities they had never thought of before. Your presence alone is enough to spark these shifts, to make people reconsider what they thought was possible. Another aspect of your role as a chosen one is revealing hypocrisy. In both individuals and societal systems, there are often gaps between what is said and what is done, between the image people project and the truth of their actions. You have a way of seeing through these facades, and your presence naturally brings these inconsistencies to the surface. This revelation is not always welcomed. People do not like having their hypocrisy exposed, it feels threatening, and it can lead to defensive or aggressive reactions. But exposing these inconsistencies is necessary for true growth. It's the first step in aligning behavior with values, in creating systems that are more just, more honest, and more compassionate. The chosen ones act as catalysts for this kind of change. Your intensity pushes people to confront the truth, to let go of illusions, and to begin the hard work of aligning their actions with their words. Your role in revealing hypocrisy is not about judgment or moral superiority, it's about integrity. It's about living in a way that is consistent with your values and encouraging others to do the same. This is how you catalyze change, not by forcing others to change, but by living your truth so fully that others feel inspired, or even compelled, to do the same. The discomfort they feel is a sign that growth is happening, that the old ways are no longer sustainable, and that something new is needed. As we conclude this second part, remember that your presence is a powerful force for change. You are not here to conform, to play by the old rules, or to make others comfortable in their illusions. You are here to inspire, to challenge, to redefine what power means, and to show that true strength comes from authenticity and integrity. In the final part of this journey, we will explore how your influence creates a lasting impact, transforming not only individuals but entire social structures. We will discuss how the discomfort you generate is a crucial part of collective awakening and how embracing your intensity leads to meaningful, lasting change. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the transformative power you bring to the world. As a chosen one, your impact goes far beyond the individual interactions you have. While your presence may initially feel like a disruption, over time, it becomes a force for lasting transformation. Your authenticity is not a fleeting phenomenon, it is something that continues to inspire and influence long after you've left the room. This is what creates a lasting impact. By simply being yourself, by refusing to conform to societal expectations, you set into motion a series of changes that ripple outward, touching people in ways you may never fully see or understand. Your impact starts at the personal level, but it doesn't end there. Each person who is affected by your authenticity carries that influence with them, spreading it to others. Imagine your presence as a stone dropped into still water. The initial splash may create waves, and the ripples will continue, even as the water eventually becomes calm again. Each ripple represents a person who has been inspired by your courage, someone who decides to make a change in their life, and that change then influences the people around them. This is how your authenticity spreads. It moves beyond you and begins to reshape the world. People who come into contact with you are often prompted to reevaluate their own lives. They start to question the roles they are playing, the masks they are wearing, and whether these align with their true selves. This process can be uncomfortable, but it is also necessary for growth. Some of them may start taking small, courageous steps toward being more authentic, whether that means speaking their truth, letting go of a toxic relationship, or pursuing a long-held dream. These changes may seem small at first, but collectively, they have the power to transform entire communities. The lasting impact you create as a chosen one isn't always visible or quantifiable, but it is always there. Your energy plants seeds in the hearts of others, seeds that may take months or even years to fully grow. But when they do, the changes are undeniable. People begin to live differently, to value honesty and integrity over comfort and conformity. They begin to strive for something deeper, something real. This is the essence of your impact, creating a ripple effect that moves people toward authenticity and away from superficiality. While your influence starts on an individual level, it ultimately extends to the broader social structures you are part of. Chosen ones have the power to reshape not just the lives of individuals but the very fabric of society. By embodying truth, courage, and authenticity, you challenge the foundations upon which many societal systems are built, foundations often steeped in hierarchy, superficiality, and control. Your presence, your unwavering commitment to authenticity, becomes a catalyst for a collective awakening. One of the ways you transform social structures is by refusing to participate in systems that don't align with your values. You don't conform to the rules of power that are based on fear, manipulation, or control. Instead, you create a new model, one where power is shared, where voices are heard, and where the focus is on collaboration rather than competition. This approach challenges the status quo, which is why it often meets resistance, but it is also what makes it so powerful. When others see you thriving by refusing to play the traditional power games, they start to question why they are following those rules themselves. Your example shows that there is another way to live and to lead, a way that doesn't require sacrificing integrity or stepping on others to get ahead. This kind of leadership, based on authenticity and compassion, is what ultimately transforms social structures. It shifts the focus from individual gain to collective well-being, from hierarchy to community. The collective awakening that you inspire is not about overthrowing systems or forcing change. It's about creating a new paradigm, one where authenticity is valued, where power is not something to be hoarded but something to be shared, and where success is measured not by status or wealth but by impact, connection, and fulfillment. Your role in this transformation is to be a living example of what is possible, to show that another way exists, and to inspire others to join you in creating it. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without discomfort. There will always be those who resist, who feel threatened by change, and who try to cling to the old ways of doing things. But your presence, and the presence of others like you, is like a steady current. Over time, it erodes the old structures that no longer serve the greater good, making way for something new. This is how lasting social transformation occurs, not through force but through the power of example, through the quiet, persistent work of those who refuse to settle for anything less than truth. As a chosen one of your most challenging but essential roles is revealing hypocrisy, both in individuals and in societal systems. You have a natural ability to see through pretense, to recognize when there is a disconnect between what people say and what they do. This gift is not always easy to bear, as it often puts you at odds with those who are invested in maintaining appearances. But it is a critical part of your purpose. Your presence alone can reveal these inconsistencies. It is as if you carry a light that naturally exposes what others have tried to hide. For those who are living in alignment, this light is welcome. It highlights their efforts, their truths, and their authenticity. But for those who are not, for those who are living in a way that contradicts their values or who are using power in harmful ways, your light is blinding. It forces them to see themselves as they truly are, and this can be incredibly uncomfortable. The exposure of hypocrisy is not meant to shame or to judge, it is meant to encourage change. It is meant to push people toward greater integrity, to challenge them to align their actions with their values. On a societal level, this means challenging systems that perpetuate inequality, that exploit or deceive, and that prioritize profit over people. You may find yourself in situations where you are the only one willing to speak up, the only one pointing out that something is not right. This can be a lonely place to be, but it is also a powerful one. By pushing for integrity, you help create a world that is more honest, more just, and more compassionate. Your influence encourages others to hold themselves accountable, to strive for greater alignment between their beliefs and their actions. This is how real change happens, not through superficial adjustments but through deep, structural transformation. Your role in this process is to be the catalyst, to bring the truth to light, and to encourage others to rise to their highest potential. The journey of the chosen one is not an easy one, but it is deeply rewarding. You are here to shake things up, to challenge what no longer serves the greater good, and to inspire others to step into their true power. The intensity that you bring is a necessary force, one that is required to create real, lasting transformation. While others may shy away from the discomfort that comes with growth, you step into it, knowing that it is through this discomfort that true change is born. Your intensity is not something to apologize for. It is your gift to the world. The way you make people feel, whether it's uncomfortable, inspired, or challenged, is part of the process of awakening. You are here to hold up the mirror, to show people what is possible, and to create space for them to grow. Your authenticity is a beacon, one that shines brightly in a world that often prefers the safety of conformity and superficiality. By embracing who you are fully, you give others permission to do the same. The impact you have is profound and lasting. It goes beyond the individual and extends to the collective, reshaping not just relationships but entire communities and systems. You are not just influencing people, you are influencing the very way society operates, shifting the focus from control to compassion, from fear to authenticity. This is the power of a chosen one, to not only transform oneself but to be a force of transformation for the world. The discomfort you generate in others is a necessary part of the process. It is what pushes people to change, to evolve, to become more than they thought they could be. Your intensity is not something to hide, it is something to embrace, to wield with love, and to use as a tool for positive change. The world needs your light, your courage, and your unwavering commitment to truth. It needs people who are willing to stand in their power, even when that power terrifies others, because that is the only way real progress can be made. As we conclude this journey, remember that your role as a chosen one is to be a catalyst for transformation. Your presence is powerful, your authenticity is magnetic, and your courage to live your truth is inspiring. The impact you create is both immediate and long-lasting, touching individuals and reshaping social structures in ways that are profound and meaningful. Embrace your role without fear. Know that your intensity is not something to be ashamed of but something to celebrate. You are here to create change, to inspire authenticity, and to lead others toward a future that is more aligned with truth, justice, and compassion. The world may not always understand your power, but it desperately needs it. Step into your role fully, shine your light, and watch as the world begins to transform around you. Now is the time to fully embrace your power as a chosen one. Let your authenticity be the spark that ignites transformation in those around you. Stand in your truth, inspire others to do the same, and know that the intensity you bring is exactly what is needed to create real, lasting change. The world needs your courage, your light, and your unwavering commitment to authenticity. Rise, and let your power become the force that reshapes the world.